change it for nothing.
Well, that's nice to hear.
You know it too.
Well, I had graduated in June of 1952, and he graduated in 1951, but we didn't know each other in school. And I knew his sister in school, but I didn't know him. And after we started going together, we realized our lockers weren't far apart at the school.
Oh,
He
that's the
invited me
problem.
out to get ice cream. And I said, no, I wasn't gonna go. We were at a band concert in Allen Park. And I said, no, I wasn't gonna go. So then after he left, I told my dad what had happened. And my dad says, well, why didn't you go? And I says, well, I didn't think you'd let me. Well, that was the beginning of the end.
So the next Monday night, I went roller skating and asked her to roller skate. She liked to roller skate, so did I.
And he was always a gentleman and kind, considerate. And I knew that, I just knew that he was the one. His family accepted me, and my dad really thought John was something. We got engaged in 53 and married in August of 54.
Well, it was a nice day, but it wasn't a hot day, for a hot day, yeah.
The church was crowded, overflowing. It was a small church, but people said that they never saw so many people come out for a wedding as they did for ours. It was mostly church friends and relatives, you know. John's family was 100% Swedish. His mother and a couple of his grandma and a couple of their friends made all the food for the wedding. We had sandwiches and cake and lunch, which was a normal thing in those days. Everything turned out really nice. It was pretty. And my dress I had gotten earlier, about a year before, because when we got engaged, then I knew I could start looking for a dress. And when I was young and got my first job or two, which was in a 5 and 10 cent store, I worked in Woolworths. And my dad told me I had to give him $5 a week for room and board, which was fair enough. But I did not know that he was saving it for me to give it to me to use for my wedding. So when it came time to pay for some of the stuff, he handed me $500. And that was a big deal then. Well, when anybody got married or engaged in those days, in a small town like we lived, they put everything in the paper. It's not like today.
You know, one of the best men did something to the wedding craft. Could you tell me more about that story?
Yeah, that was my brother-in-law. He disconnected the coil under the hood. Wouldn't start. So I lifted the hood and looking around, and I couldn't really find it. And finally, he plugged it back in again, so it would go. And back in them days, I used to put a lot of tin cans on the back of the car, so it would. So
You told me
You drive around.
ride around town, so everybody knew that.
Horn with a marriage sign.
Yeah.
Oh, it's, you don't do that anymore, do they?
We had a very
I haven't seen it in a
special
long
sign.
time.
Yeah.
He had to learn how to cook, and his grandmother had given me a Betty Crocker cookbook. And they had that's where I learned to cook. And I had some mistakes, some winners. The mistakes went in the trash can before he got home.
I like soup and dumplings, but first time she tried to make the dumplings, they were flat.
I got it perfected now. That's one of my go-tos.
God was there, Randy was there when it did
It was
that.
a week before Thanksgiving, and needed to go to the store and get something. I said, "You got any money?" "I haven't got any money." She looked in her purse and she says, "Oh, I got a nickel." That's all she had. So I said, "Let's go to the store and buy a popsicle." Split it. Walked home and we were laughing because we were dead broke. But the next day I come home from work and she said, "I got a letter from your mother today, it had $5 in it." I thought we were rich.
So we went and bought a chicken and
She cooked Thanksgiving dinner for the first Thanksgiving dinner.
fixed it for a Thanksgiving. Cindy was born in 1957. And
Year I was
2 years later, Randy was born. But her due date was like the first part of December. And she wasn't born until the 30th of December. And his due date was the end of December, 2 years later. And he was born the first week in December. So go figure. But they've both been a joy in their life, and they were both very good children. So, and they both have 2 boys. We have grandsons, Matthew, Robert, Gregory, and Ryan. And in those days, there was no air conditioning, so you had your windows open, and the lady across the street, she'd say, "I heard Randy crying again last night," she said. Yeah.
So anyhow, one night I was carrying him and facing the floor and had a diaper on my shoulder. When I went to put him to bed, the diaper fell off my shoulder, fell on his face. He grabbed that and he never cried since.
I don't know if he still sleeps with Butler.
He's taking it down. It was good ever since.
Yeah, you're sitting like this.
And the neighbor next door used to call him Smiley because he was smiling all the time. But they were both happy babies. Yep, so happy babies, happy mama.
Oh, they're senior citizens.
We're trying to get them to get their discounts when they forget how old they are.
I get him a discount. Not when I go to Chick-fil-A, when I go bowling.
Raising our family, that's home was built for me.
Yeah. I have no
Always
idea.
loved being a homemaker and a mother, and now I'm a grandmother, and now I'm a great-grandmother to a 6-year-old that's learning to read, and it's just so much fun. He's always been a good provider and a good helpmate and taking care of everything. And we've made some good lifelong friends. Yep, we've always been compatible, and we've had even somebody told us we were soulmates, so I don't know.
We always do stuff together.
We're always together. Almost to a fault.
She's just my type, I guess.
No, she's not, it's too late now. That was good. Yeah, that was good.
Great,
Yeah,
thanks.
yeah, that was really
Very
good.
nice,
Yeah,
very nice.
It was all you.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
That's a gift nobody else could give us.
Yeah. Well, you guys are a gift to me, so. That's
Very nice.